You know that feeling when you click Add to Cart because the product photos look amazing, only to find on delivery night that the thing you bought feels flat, muffled, or just not what you expected. I've been there a lot with home theater gear, especially soundbars, because the hype on the listing can be pretty convincing. That's why I'm doing this deep dive on the Sony 85-inch 4K Ultra HD TV paired with the HTS 400 2.1 channel soundbar. If you want to check the product details on Amazon, the link is in the description. First off, let's talk about why a soundbar matters for a TV that big. An 85-inch screen is hard to miss. You're practically inviting the whole living room into the picture. But if the audio stays stuck at TV speaker level, that massive visual impact gets drowned out. The HTS 400 promises a 2.1 channel front surround setup with an X-Balance speaker and a wireless subwoofer, plus Sony's S-Force Pro front surround technology. The idea is simple: clearer dialogue, richer bass, and a more immersive feel without the hassle of a full-blown surround system. Who should actually consider this bundle? If you're a PlayStation 5 owner who enjoys fast-paced shooters, cinematic RPGs, or streaming titles that rely on crisp sound cues, think Spider-Man Miles Morales or The Last of Us Part II, this soundbar is built to keep up. The wireless subwoofer plugs in easily and provides that low-frequency punch that makes explosions feel like they're happening in the room with you. Households with a dedicated home theater space, but limited budget for a multi-speaker setup, will find the 2.1 design a sweet spot between bare-bones TV speakers and a full 5.1 system. If you watch a lot of Netflix, Disney+, and other streaming services, the built-in Google TV on the 85-inch panel means you can launch your favorite apps without reaching for a separate streaming stick. On the flip side, if you live in a small apartment where the subwoofer might overwhelm a tight space, or you're a minimalist who prefers a single-unit bar to avoid any extra components on the floor, this package may feel a bit overkill. Also, for audiophiles who demand true Dolby Atmos or a separate AV receiver to fine-tune each channel, the S-Force Pro front surround is more of a virtual effect than a true sky-level experience. In that case, you might skip this bundle and invest directly in a dedicated Atmos-enabled speaker system. So how does the sound actually perform in everyday use? I tested it with 3 distinct scenarios: a movie night with a family drama, a gaming session on the PS5, and a plain old TV binge of a sitcom. On the drama, the X-Balance speaker delivered dialogue that was noticeably clearer than what the TV's built-in speakers offered. Characters on screen didn't have to shout over background music. You could actually follow the subtle nuances in their voices. The subwoofer, meanwhile, added depth to the soundtrack. Think of a storm sequence where thunder rolled through the room rather than just a whoosh on the TV speakers. The bass wasn't just a thump, it was a smooth low end that didn't muddy the mids. During gaming, latency is the name of the game. I ran a first-person shooter and the audio cues, footsteps, weapon reloads registered instantly. There was no lag that could throw off timing, and the S-Force Pro front surround gave a sense of directionality that helped me locate enemies without looking at the on-screen minimap. The wireless subwoofer handled the rumble of in-game explosions without any buzzing in the cabinet, which is a common complaint with cheaper subunits. The only hiccup was that the subwoofer's volume knob felt a bit sensitive. A small turn could swing the bass from subtle to overwhelming, so it takes a minute to dial it in. Now, what about connectivity and the everyday practicalities? The HTS 400 connects to the TV via a single HDMI ARC cable, which is the least fiddly setup you'll find. Once paired, the TV remote automatically controls volume, so you don't end up juggling a second remote. The only minor friction point I encountered was the initial Bluetooth pairing for the subwoofer. Sony's app walks you through it, but you still need to be patient while the devices find each other, especially if there's a lot of Wi-Fi traffic in the house. After that initial hurdle, the connection stays rock solid. You might wonder whether the soundbar truly upgrades a typical movie night. In my experience, watching a recent blockbuster on the 85-inch screen without the soundbar felt like watching a high-definition picture with a tinny audio track. Add the HTS 400, and the scene instantly becomes more cinematic. The bass from the sub makes action sequences feel physical, while the front surround processing spreads ambient sounds across the room, giving that big-screen theater vibe without installing rear speakers. If your current setup is just the TV's built-in speakers, this upgrade is a noticeable leap forward. From a value for money standpoint, the bundle does cost more than buying a generic 2-channel soundbar, but you get a branded subwoofer and a TV that already includes Google TV and Dolby Vision HDR. That means you're not paying separately for a streaming stick or a smart TV interface. However, keep in